Good evening to all. I'm Gaurav Pandey, your mentor, your friend, and today we'll understand our another question in our series, array as frequency counter. And that problem statement has already oft in multiple companies. But before we begin, do let me know, am I audible and visual to all? And how's the energy? I'm waiting for the answers, then we'll continue. I'll just see the responses. Do let me know, am I audible and visual to all? I'm waiting for the responses. How's the energy? How's the energy? Do you feel a confidence that you can crack an interview of 30 LPA? Tell me. Waiting for the response, then we'll continue. We have amazing problem statement today. And anyhow, I'll write the code in three languages as already mentioned on top. That will write code in Java, C++, and Python. Right, and these part, very good evening, Prince. Do let me know, am I completely audible and visual? We already has completed math series, arrays, and the array with two pointers, and now we are running with this array frequency counter. Okay, cool, yeah, cool. So now let's begin with the problem statement. And before moving on the problem statement, I'll tell you why this particular problem is important. First thing is that anyhow to understand any particular pattern in DSA, you especially need a lot of practice. And that's why on the same topic, array frequency counter, I'm coming up with multiple questions, right? So now today we'll discuss find all numbers disappeared in array, which is almost similar as yesterday's question, almost similar as. But this problem has been asked in Adobe, Apple, Bloomberg, Google, Microsoft, and Yahoo multiple times. So this problem makes a significant role in itself. So we'll understand, we'll go to the lead code and directly we'll see what is the problem still and how we can attempt it. Okay. So the important thing I want from your end that you should have an understanding how you can recognize this problem can be solved using array 2.0 or not. So the important thing will read the problem statement, then tell me, are you able to recognize the problem statement? Because now at this point of time, you must understand if the particular problem can be solved using this particular this technique or not. Okay, so given an array nums of n integers where nums I is in the range of 1 comma n. Now tell me, did you get the point? When you have the element always in 1 to n range, always you apply array frequency counter. If the problem is about frequency and that can be solved about using a terminology of the frequency. So now they're telling like you will have element between the range of 1 to n. Return an array of all integers in the range 1 to n that do not appear in the nums. So yesterday what we did is that those had the frequency 2, we were returning them duplicates, all duplicates. That we solved yesterday, right? Today we want to figure out the element which are not available in this array from a range 1 to n. Now tell me how you can solve. If you count the frequency of all the element, and what happens is, if you count the frequency, for example, you had one array ARR, and here in this array you had few values 1 to n, okay, and the length, let's say you have 8 or 7 something. I'm assuming the length means the n, you have 7. So you had value here 1, 3, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I want you to find the missing element. I just want to find you the missing element. Okay, 7 probably I cannot have. If length I have 7, so these are the 8. So this I cannot have. Okay, in this particular range, I want you to know that which element is missing. Okay, which element is missing. So you will say like what is missing? The 7 is missing. right? The 7 is missing. Why? The 7 has a frequency as 0. 7 has a frequency as 0, right? When you have frequency at 0, we can say that is missing. When the frequency is 0, we can say that is missing. So now if you'll use the hash map for frequency, that will take the extra memory, right? So the best way is that we can use a frequency array, right, of length n plus 1. We have discussed that approach in question number 1, question number 2, and also in question number 3. Right, so we can have one frequency array. The size will be n plus 1. If you want to check till 7, you need 8 length. Why? Because only then 7 can be utilized as index. Yes or no? Right. So you need this. You need this what? You need this, the array that will have the size as 8. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now look at last index you have as 7. Why? Because the value of array you'll use as an index of the frequency array, right? Yes or no? Correct. So now let's count the frequency. 1 has arrived 1 time, 2 has arrived 1 time, 3 has arrived 1 time, 4 has arrived 2 times. Look at this. You were doing plus plus. You remember from the last 2 questions we have already solved, but any of you haven't watched both the videos, please watch them first. Only then this video for you. And then fifth 1, then 6, 1. Then what is missing? This 7 is again at 0, right? Because all the value implies at 0 automatically. So we will not count this. Why? Because value is starting from 1 to n. So you will check in this range any index. Is there any index where the index value is 0? Any index is there where the value is 0. Yes, this 7 is here who has value at 0. So between 7 was missing. So this is a simple logic. Probably I hope the logic is clear to all. Now we'll go to the code part and we'll try to write the code in all 3 languages. Okay, any of you need any specific language, comment. Probably I'll pick up that. Okay, so let's create one array here. Int will create a frequency. Same as yesterday. Nothing new. I just want you that you must have an understanding. You must have a confidence that now you know the concept. So length plus 1. Right? You have created a frequency array. There you will store the frequency. Remember, in yesterday also we have discussed the same thing. Then what we'll do for return, actually the return type is a list type, means an array list in Java. So right now we are writing code in Java, so we'll define an array list to store the result that will hold the integer value, right? That will hold the integer value. And let's say I'll give the name result as same as yesterday, and then new array list. And tell me this clear to all. The concept is clear to all or not? But I want energy. Energy, smile, and enthusiasm to create, to crack the good packages. Right? Only then there's a meaning of, coming on consistency regularly. So now here we'll have value. I'll use a for each loop to access the value of the nums array that you already understand from the last video, right? In the first video we have understand like how did the concept of Azure frequency counter. So here we'll implement the same thing. Okay, Prince. So now what we'll do, this frequency array we have, then value. This is how we'll count the frequency of each element, because this value is coming from the nums array and we are utilizing that value as an index of the frequency array. So on that particular index, if we get the value, we'll do plus plus. So the number of value we'll store in the frequency will be the frequency of the elements and nums, right? And once you have counted the frequency, you'll iterate your whole array list, the frequency, right, to enter your output into this particular array list. So what we'll do, we'll write int I is equals to 0, I is less than what? Frequency dot length, yes or no? Frequency dot length, because there you store the frequency I plus plus. Again, if I ask you, if in frequency on particular index you see the value is 0, can we say that was missing? Because if that is not missing, that must have a frequency in a particular frequency array, right? But if something is missing, only then they will have frequency at 0. But you will start from 1, not from 0. Why? Because you have value from 1 to n, not 0 to n. Okay, so then if this is missing, then in result you'll add what? You'll add I. So this is what your code is. And I don't think so it's difficult to understand after 2 videos that you already watched, after the previous 2 videos. It won't be difficult, that I strongly believe. But if you have confusion, please write in the comment. I'll do a dry run as well for more clear understanding. But write a comment. Okay, write a comment. If you have understood, I don't understand the loop part. Probably our creation of the coming for the first time. But don't worry, I'll do a dry run again here in this video as well. After this particular thing, you'll understand it completely. Okay, so you don't have to worry about. Okay, but if you need dry run, then write dry run only, then I'll do. Okay, because how this is working, I'll tell you. Anyhow, I've already covered in previous two lives. That's why I'm assuming that this particular concept is clear to everyone. So now what I'll do, I'll run this code and I'll submit this. Then we'll write in CPP, then in Python, then we'll do dry run. Okay, and in which language you want dry run, just write in comment. In which language you want dry run. Okay, in which language you want dry run. So this is working fine, taking 4 milliseconds. Anyhow, this will be vary from system to system, but it's a very nice code and you have written in linear time complexity because you're using single loop only. You're using single loop only. Yes or no? Right? Then what I'll do, I'll write the same code in C++ because both have almost same syntax. So now we'll go to the C++ and here we'll write that same code. I'll paste it here. And now you don't have array list in C++, you have vectors. So you have to use vectors here. So first vector I'll store for the frequency. Okay. Java. Okay. We'll do in Java. Okay. Vector, and here let's say the name was frequency and the size we want is the nums dot size plus 1. Right. That should be the size. And all the values should automatically initialize to 0 in frequency array. And then I want one vector to store the result. Vector that will store the integer value and that name is result. Rest thing is similar, same syntax for C++ for each loop, but you don't have length method here, you have size method in C++. And again, you don't have add method, you will have push back method. Push underscore back I. And that's it. You are done with the code for C++. Okay, the same code. And then at the end, we'll do a dry run of it. Okay, and then we'll do the dry run of it. So it's working fine, but you'll see this is little faster than Java. Java was taking around 4 millisecond or 3 something, but this will take, look at this is 0 millisecond, right? But anyhow, this system to system, anyhow, sometimes the memory is more free, so you get faster response. But anyhow, C++ is faster than the Java for terms of DSA. Then we'll write in Python, and Python is very slow, not recommended for competitive programming. So now we'll again create two things because you don't have now vector and array list. But what you have a list here. So I'll create a frequency list that will have value at 0 and how many times the length plus 1. So len of nums and then plus 1 times. Right. So this much time of you need the size of that. Very good evening, Sanam. Sanam in Python, 2 people are in Java. Voting is still going on. Choose anyone. Still going on. 2 in Java, 1 in Python. The number of whoever will win, I'll do the try in the same. But anyway, this won't be difficult. But yesterday we did in Java. Today I guess Python is more better. Yesterday we did in Java, and those have seen that video, they know that, right? They know that. So Python may help. But anyhow, it's again up to the people how they cooperate. Okay, so we don't have for each loop in Python, we'll do for in loop. So for value in nums colon, you don't have plus in Python, you will have plus which equals to 1. And then we'll remove this. Again, you don't have this normal for loop, you will have for in loop. So for I in range, and we want to start from 1 till the length of that particular frequency list. Right, so len frequency, okay, and then colon. And again, you don't have this curly braces, you will use colon. You don't have this add method, you have append. Okay, so append I, and you'll remove this curly braces and then this one as well. And I'm still waiting. Which language you want, Python or Java? We get 2 responses of Java, 1 is for Python. The dry run we can understand in any language. Okay, so now means Sanam has one more support. Because yesterday we did in Java dry run, right? So today, any of the same question we are doing, just language has been changed, right? So maybe this will help to the other people who are coming from the Python background. Oh no, what happened? You don't, oh, we haven't defined the result. Is it so? We'll define, don't worry. Okay, so now we have this result as well, right? We'll submit it now. We'll submit now. It's working fine. We'll submit it. Okay, but I want in Java. Look at it, it's taking 23 milliseconds. And your Python is very slow for DSA. I will not recommend anyone who are really want to do competitive programming in DSA using Python. I'll prefer Java or C++. Okay. But anyway, let's do in Python today. Yesterday we did in Java. Let's support everybody who are coming here. And anyhow, everybody will understand because Dryden is always independent from the code. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. You'll not understand. You'll understand, trust me. You'll understand. Because anyhow, these are AGPG concept, right? And all of you are the champs. So this won't be very difficult. So let's crack this question. Okay. And I'll choose the color as white. We'll have few spaces. Now we'll do this for understanding this code more better. And here I will tell you to dry run all the languages, you don't have to worry about. Okay, I'm not being biased. Now, cool. So we'll do a slideshow now from here itself. So now let's understand how this is working. So for that, I'll take the one input case from here. So we have 43278. I'll take my tab and here we'll write that input value. What you have in nums? You have 43278, I guess. 43278, 231, right? 231. So if you'll check the length of it, the length is what? 448. So the length is 8, means the value of n is 8. So you will have the value 1 to 8 only. That is the case. But there is a one value or there is a multiple value which are missing, right? Which are missing. So how you can identify? You'll count the frequency of each element. Those will have the frequency at 0. You'll say that they are missing. They are missing, right? So let's see. What we were doing in Java, we were creating one frequency array, and here we are creating in Python and one frequency list. Means we're creating an 8 size, not 8 size, 9 size. We can always n plus 1. Only then you can utilize this 8 as an index. 8 as an index. So you'll create one array list or one list or one array or vector, anything. So the size should be 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now the size is 9, right? You'll count the frequency of each element. By default, everything is 0. So 4 you will do come here. Okay, in this loop. Val in nums. And for each we were writing like for val colon nums, right? So you will have that value from where? From this nums array. From this nums array. So this value is coming now 4. Means what you're doing in frequency on 4 index you're doing plus 1. Plus means also plus 1 and plus 1 is equals to means also plus 1. Okay. So now what we're doing, we are doing plus 1 on where? On the 4th index in frequency list array or vector. So now this is 4th index, you'll do plus 1. So this comes 1. Previously it was 0, now this comes 1. Again the another value will get 3 in value. On 3rd index you'll do plus 1. Again another value on 2nd index you'll get from here itself, right? On 2nd index you'll do plus 1. Again you get 7. On 7th index you'll do plus 1. Again you get 8. On 8th index you'll do plus 1. Again you get 2. On 2nd index you'll do plus 1. Means now this becomes 2. Why? Previously the value was 1. You have increased the value by 1 again. So you have now 2. Again the another value is 3. On 3rd index 2 plus 1 means that becomes 2. This becomes 2. Previously it was 1. Again 1 from here itself, from this loop only. Okay. So now the 1 you received and you will do plus 1. So now they are automatically 0 because you have initialized by 0 only. You have initialized by 0 only. In Java also automatically that array will be initialized in 0. Okay, so now this is what you have as of now in frequency. Now tell me, if you iterate this frequency array and on the indexes where the value is 0, are they missing? Tell me. If you iterate this frequency list array or vector anything, and if you get on certain on particular index value at 0, can we say those were missing in this particular nums? Those were missing in this particular nums? Yes or no? Yes, they were missing. They were missing. So what we'll do? We'll add these values in our result. In our result array list, in our result list, or in vector, anything depends on the language. Right. So right here, what we're doing, we're iterating now our frequency. starting from 1 index, not 0. Why? Because value are from 1 to n, not from 0 to n. So we will not consider this, right? So 1 to n, 1 to n. Cool, yeah. Now what you're checking, like if a particular index having the value as 0, we will add that value into this result. We're adding that value into the result. Make sense, yes or no? Make sense? So we're adding that value into result, and at the end what will happen when you iterate this? You'll check the value for 1, is it 0? No, this is not 0. For 2, no, this is not 0. For third index, no, this is not 0. For fourth index, is it 0? No, this is not 0. For fifth index, is this 0? No, this is not 0. Like for fifth index, this is 0. On fifth index, you'll get value at 0. So you'll add that particular value in result. So this result become 5. Now, again for sixth index, you again receive 0. So you again insert. For 7, you don't have 0. Again for 8, you don't have 0. Now the whole frequency array list or vector has been iterated, and now you have this result. You're returning this result at the end. You're returning this result at the end. Correct, simple? Okay, Sanam. So simple dimple, good rhyme. Okay, Prince. So I hope, yeah, I hope now the problem statement, now the solution, it's clear to all. And what I want is that I want one thing is a self-belief. Yeah, trust me on one thing, that if you will do a self-belief here, a self-belief. So what will happen eventually? You will have very good understanding of DS and problem solving. That eventually will lead you to cracking the more than 10 LPA, 20 to 30 LPA. Like if you're already working, you're gonna have very bigger numbers. But what all it takes to get these jobs? The consistency. And consistency will come here because I come regularly, right? I come on Saturday and Sunday at what time? At 6:15. On Monday and Tuesday, I come at 5 p.m. Right? 5 p.m. And rest day I'm on leave. Means I will not come on live directly, but I will have few videos over YouTube. So these 4 days I'm coming for the LeetCode. Like as of now, these 4 days. But once we'll see a lot of bigger audience, maybe we'll do the whole week. Right? So sir, what is the most efficient way of taking input in Python? You can use that input method directly, Sanam. You can use that input method. Okay. And from scratch, actually, for understanding from scratch, I'll suggest that if you're talking about for DSA, you can watch our live from video number 1 till here. Trust me. So please talk to technical to send. Okay, PPT also. Okay, I'll talk today. I'll talk today. Possible they'll send. Otherwise, anyhow, if you will receive every digital content, you'll not make by yourself. So what I'll suggest that watch the video, make your own notes. Trust me, that will stay in your memory for longer. Trust me, that is most efficient way to learn anything. If you will create the PPT, you'll create the notes by yourself after watching this particular live. Trust me, that will stay in your brain for very longer time. For very longer time. Okay, but still I'll talk to the team to send you that PPT. Okay. Okay, then bye bye to all. I hope you enjoyed this particular live. If you really enjoyed, then like the particular video and subscribe the channel if you're coming from the very first time. And what I want is that I share this particular live with multiple people who are really struggling with DS and problem solving. Okay, bye bye to all. See you tomorrow.